Capricorn, how you all doing? I hope that you're doing well. Talk about Mercury retrograde. All of a sudden, try to do your reading and aquas, and it just didn't work immediately. But enough of the woes me. I hope that you're all doing well. I've missed you. Sorry, I've been away a long time. Had lots going on. Had lots to take care of, and nonetheless, I missed y'all. And the first card that immediately jumped out for you was the Page of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing apology. Maybe you're waiting on an apology. Maybe somebody owes you one, but they just can't bring themselves to give it to you. Maybe you owe somebody an apology. Maybe you just don't want to apologize, though. There's this feeling, especially with this Page of Cups being in reverse, that there was some there was an emotional situation, or there is an emotional situation going on right now. You could think that somebody is being emotionally immature, or that they're being insecure. If it's in love, you could be dealing with somebody who's a shy, vulnerable partner. They're hesitant, maybe a little awkward. It can point to someone in your romantic life who may react well to some much needed kindness, and maybe are slowly opening up to you if they feel safe. But sometimes this person could be a little bit emotionally immature, or maybe there's temper tantrums or insecurity or lots of nonsense. If not that, maybe you're dealing with a child who could be behaving this way. But if it's not representing a person, be aware of these traits in yourself. It's possible that insecurities have gotten the best of you, and maybe it's important to have a look at how it affects your romantic life, or maybe that's what the person you're dealing with is going through at the moment. If it's career, maybe you've had feelings that have been going crazy at work, or you've had issues dealing with them. Maybe it indicates that you've been unprofessional, or someone else has, or perhaps letting your emotions get the best of you. Being in new situations, oftentimes we can be faced with feelings, and we don't know how to channel them into something positive. Or if your work is in a creative field, it could suggest that maybe you've had a hard time dealing with creative blocks as of late, but don't worry, this will pass. And it's always important to remember why, you took the job to begin with. If you're dealing with financial setbacks, it asks, to make sure that you've got your emotions under control, and avoid letting yourself get carried away and not making risky choices as a result. Okay, because sometimes we may want a little retail therapy, right? And it's like, oh, I'm not feeling so great, so I'm gonna go buy this, buy that, and the next thing you know, you could be denying your financial state, and then all of a sudden you got to face it and realize that maybe you're living beyond your means, right? And we all go through that. But nonetheless, lastly, some of you could have just gotten some emotional messages that were difficult, right? A little bit of sadness. Ooh, you could be dealing as well with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and someone's feeling betrayed and backstabbed here. Okay. Ten of Swords. I'm getting the feeling like this person, or you didn't want to give up on this person, but in their mind, I get this feeling like they've been tallying how many times, and don't get mad at me if this is what the cards say. They've been tallying how many times they've felt backstabbed and betrayed. And I hate to say it, but I feel like it's possible somebody is shut down now. And this doesn't even have to do with you. This could be someone around you, right? This person's going through a really rough time, especially in terms of dealing with backstabbing. They're not going to take it anymore. I guess that could be the case. I'm sensing that there's some ruin or failure or a bitterness or a collapse of some sort, or exhaustion, victimization and betrayal, or a dead end. And maybe this is you even. Maybe you feel like this is a dead end, and maybe you don't see how you did something or whatever, or the people around you have just been dealing with this, and now it's like you're trying to show up emotionally for them, but it could be a struggle because you may have your own things going on right now too. But there is an ending here, and it's an ending about betrayal. Like, it's not going to happen again. I'm really hearing like, no, this is not going to happen. If it's a love thing, it can indicate that the relationship is coming to its end, or a period of time filled with suffering or bitterness and grief and pain. Likely, as I was saying, with the number of swords, the relationship probably was headed towards failure of some sort. And you may have already seen it coming. Or this person may have, right? Maybe intuitively. And sometimes it when it's suggesting betrayal or indicating infidelity, that could also be the time. So this period of time could be very difficult, and it could be a little bit of a challenge, but you'll need to come to terms with it and accept the inevitable ends. Singles could be dealing with similar feelings that have lingered in a past relationship or after a past relationship, but only with acceptance can one truly heal, right, and move forward. So if this is someone you're dealing with and you're trying to figure out what kind of advice can I offer them, you can let them know, like, the worst has happened, and despite how it looks, it can only get better from here. In worst case, regarding career, you may be reaching the end of your current job right now, as it signifies ending and cutting one's connections. Sometimes it can also suggest that, you could be dealing with office politics that left you defeated. Perhaps colleagues have been spreading gossip. Maybe you were spreading gossip. Alternatively, it may even just mean that you've been working very hard and literally pushing yourself to a point of collapse. And when that happens, that could very well be why your emotions are a little out of sort. It's like this card is saying it's time for a rest, right? And it may seem kind of dreary, but all of it may have been necessary for you to grow, right? And when you go forward from this and you heal from it, think of what you learned and know and realize just how many times you have survived, right? But there is a learning opportunity here. Let's see what the foundation of this is about. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, of course. Hesitancy. That's what I'm feeling from that card at this moment. So let's get a clarification. Hesitancy. There we go. Someone may feel like they've been getting scraps. Someone may feel that they have been giving so much but not getting anything in return. Someone may have lent some money. Someone may have lent some time, some resources, and it's to the point where, I hate to say it, but they're pulling back. Whoever it is, you'll know this is your story, and of course this doesn't resonate with everybody, but somebody was in a position to give, and they did give a lot. They really did give a lot. But as you can see, this Knight here is not moving. This Knight is sitting here with this great big pentacle. So this Knight is making sure that they're stable and secure, taking and taking and taking from another person, but they're not giving back. So whoever that Knight of Pentacles is, I really feel like, yeah, and then look at this. Queen of Swords. You could be dealing with an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But it's like someone's been taking and taking and taking. They could be in a position of power, like they could be a boss or somebody above you. But I feel though there's going to be an honest discussion, or there needs to be an honest discussion about the imbalance of what's happening here, right? I feel that this has been a connection, or there was a connection in the past here. It doesn't have to be romantic, but maybe it is a romantic connection. 10 of Cups. This is somebody that maybe you were friends with for a long time, that there were a lot of very, very, very good times, but unfortunately it's come to an end now. And again, I feel it's because someone here has felt taken advantage of and also betrayed. So now there's this Nine of Wands energy. And this Nine of Wands is almost like someone has been trying to go the distance. Again, I'm going back to this Ten of Swords card. So somebody's been trying to go the distance they've really been persevering in this relationship. They really wanted this to work. Whoever, I feel like it's external to you. They really wanted this to work, but yet maybe they were faced with your opposition. Maybe maybe you were guarding yourself too much, or whatever be the case. Somebody here did give a lot. They gave a lot, in fact, and they did it out of love. They did it out of caring very much for the connection that they were in. There it is. See? Two of Cups. So whether this be love, or whether this be a close partnership at work, friendships, family, whatever, any type of an emotional bond, you know, this person or you stuck it out. You did. You really did. Because, ooh, and I also heard that, thank you, Spirit. Maybe you fought a lot of battles together as well. You could have been comrades, right? It's like you both really fought a lot of battles, and you had this good friendship. There was also a soul connection here too. Give me another one, please, for this recent past, Spirit. But something went wrong, and there it is. Could be dealing with a Taurus, doesn't have to be, but the Empress in reverse. Somebody became greedy, selfish, and especially very much materialistic. Materialistic, greedy. They were taking they started becoming like, I'm hearing vacuum. It's like, you know, the vacuum started picking up crumbs, and now it's trying to pick up items of clothing. It's trying to pick up everything around. It's just trying to suck everything in. It's just taking advantage of someone who gave so much. And I feel that this person, whoever this is representing, could even be a mother figure, but I feel that this person gave so much to the point where they would even deplete themselves because they genuinely loved whoever it was that they were supporting. They genuinely loved them. But unfortunately, someone was too greedy. Whoever was the taker in this was too greedy and got to the point where they only cared about their security and what they were getting. They stood still, took and took and took and took, and to the point where someone felt backstabbed and betrayed and taken advantage of, and they literally said, that's it, I'm done, right? So some words may have been exchanged, okay? But it's like a truth that had to be faced. So let's see what the focus is right now, please, for Capricorn. Yeah. Someone's stuck in their head now. Somebody's going through a lot of anxiety. Somebody also has put themselves, sorry about that. We've got a few motorcyclists out on the road today. But we have the Eight of Swords here. Now, each of these swords represents like a prison of some sort. This could even represent theft. Maybe somebody went to a point of stealing, and so then this could represent jail. Maybe there's a focus on wanting justice and whoever ripped someone off to be put in jail. But nonetheless, this card also is about somebody who's full of anxious thoughts, and they've literally lost control of themselves. They're very much trapped in their head, and they've got all of these swords around them. But you'll see that this woman in this card, she's not bound to these swords, but instead her mind is making her think that she's stuck. Her mind is making her think that she's trapped. She can change the situation, but she doesn't want to take the step to change it. And so when that happens, it just becomes continuous anxiety and pressure building up. There it is. Death in reverse. Could be dealing with a Scorpio, but the Death card in reverse means something hasn't transformed. Something hasn't changed. Someone is not changing. They'd rather stay in their head than face like the realities that they need to change. They need to change their ways. They're not willing to look at how they're showing up in this relationship. And I feel that it's the person who is doing all the taking here. They're not balancing out things, and they're not admitting to themselves, because this is deception as well, right? So they're not willing to look at how they put themselves into this prison. They put themselves into being alone here. They put themselves into this, barren land without anyone around them, right? Why? Because they just got to a point where, taking money, time, resources, whatever be the case, from others became much easier than having to do the work themselves. Okay? And so this emotional immaturity here could have very well been the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like somebody else's emotions finally got to a point where they were just like, I'm being taken advantage of here. This is not an equal give and take. Therefore, I'm done. I'm done. Somebody also may have been spiteful, right? Because they wanted to continue being pampered. They wanted to continue getting everything that they always got. But now it's like this person has nothing left to give. So once they pulled back, it was, now the person who's been taking all the time is, well, what am I going to do? But they're not changing their situation to better themselves, but instead it's, what am I going to do? Poor me. Now my resources are gone. Why? Maybe this person has insecurities that maybe they don't feel like they can fulfill their situation. Maybe they're not willing to be honest with themselves about the messes that they get themselves into. And when that happens, well, they can continue to wear a blindfold, but it gets to a point where where the people around them says, you know what, I can no longer come here and be your rescue. You gotta stand up for yourself here. Oh dear. Okay, so what's coming in the near future? World reversed again. There is going to be an ending here, but again, it's going to be with somebody who has not learned their lesson. And the reason why is because this person is trapped in their need for materialisms and that type of security, as opposed to freeing themselves and doing what they can to change their circumstance. So I see that there isn't going to be an ending yet. At least, that there will be an ending, but it's not going to be the person transforms. But somebody has to free themselves. Someone has to free themselves from it, because, this can't go on. One cannot continuously take from others and then think that they can be cruel to them. It's kind of like that old saying, shitting where you eat. If you're gonna shit where you eat, then don't complain that it doesn't taste good, right? It's like just getting too complacent with having everything given to them. But anyway, I feel there will also be maybe a truth that comes to light, a truthful conversation. I'm not really sure. What do you got here, Spirit? What is this? World in reverse and the sun. Yeah, Devil, Capricorn energy. Somebody's freeing themselves from being bound and chained to whatever this connection was, because they gave too much, and it was almost like it was codependent. It became codependent. It was like this person just always was giving their emotional time, their emotional resources, their physical time, physical help, and big things here. Like, I don't feel like this person gave little things. Like, this person genuinely cared about how this person's life was. They wanted to make them comfortable. But in a sense, what this person also did by being this rescuer is that they were part of the problem. They were part of the problem because they continued to rescue the one who was taking all of the time. And when that happens, it's like it confuses the one who's getting everything all of the time, when all of a sudden this person's like, okay, I'm done now. I'm spent. I have nothing more to give. And then that causes the conflict. So they're just as much to blame in this situation too. But I feel like this person is putting up some boundaries now. And I don't feel that they're doing it because they don't love the person that they were giving to, but instead they've got nothing left more to give. They're tired and exhausted themselves. So we have one that's trying to make a change, and that's where I think this conflict is coming through. By no, I will not give to you anymore. I will not take care of you anymore. I will not baby you anymore. I will not fix your issues. I will not, instead this is time for you to stand on your own 2 feet, like to whoever the taker was. And they're freeing themselves, but unfortunately, whoever the taker was here, they're too busy staying in victimhood. They're too busy lying to themselves, saying, you know what, I deserve that. I should be taken, or not that I should be taken care of, but they've always given to me. What's their problem? So it's like this one's going to be in a blame game for a little longer, is what I see, because they haven't learned their lessons. This has been a cycle of them being for a long time, that they latch on to others and they constantly take. Codependent relationships. Look that up. But there is going to be truth shed on that. And nonetheless, there is always a beauty in the breakdown. And the beauty in the breakdown is that whether this is you and somebody else, or whether this is people around you, family or friends that are going through this situation. It's necessary to heal. And sometimes we're the observers of it because we have a lesson to learn from it too. Or it's like, see what can happen if we choose this. These are the consequences. See what can happen if we behave like this. These are the consequences, right? So there's always either a learning opportunity or it's time to grow here. Some choose to grow like the giver, and the taker is still choosing not to. And that's okay. It's life. But nonetheless, someone will be freeing themselves. And there's always something good that will come of it. And an unhealthy relationship that ends is always a good thing, trust me, because then it's not perpetuating that cycle of unhealthiness. So let's see what's coming in the near future. Moving on. Someone is going to feel a little bit ashamed here, or maybe still in the victimhood, but I do see at least the waters are going to calm. Things are going to get better, moving from rough waters into calmer waters and moving forward, okay? So even if, someone's got to move forward alone and cut their losses, so be it. If someone has to move forward alone and not want to change, here it is, the Hierophant in reverse. If someone wants to continue rowing into this, having not good values, because the Hierophant also stands for things such as, what are our values? What is considered right? What is considered wrong? But this person, the way I see them, curled up in this boat here, is still going to be poor me. And they're just going to move on to somebody else who will continue to baby them, take care of them until they finally either change or they're just going to lose everything. And that's just how it goes. All right? Crazy lessons. Ooh, that was deep, Cappies. Whew. Anyways, you just keep your heads up. Take what you can to learn from the situation. And here's your sun card. Focus on the sun. Okay? All right, you guys. Sending you so much love. Bye.